Hello, hello. Yes, back in the air again. On the road again. But this time on the road to home. Yes. And it's 12 o'clock. That's an early one for me. I took a half day off. And for a very, 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 very long time, that was really a no-go for me. Because of a lot of limiting beliefs, I didn't allow myself to take a day off just for fun. Enjoying the sun, doing something nice. But nowadays, I have switched that belief, and still that kind of beliefs want to pop up when I do it. So if you have a very strong blueprint, a limiting belief, or just a belief, becoming conscious about it is, of course, the first thing you have to do. Then you have to change it mentally, but also physically. Because you can know it, but if you don't feel it, you won't do it. So, like your nerve system will always choose familiar chaos or limiting belief or strategy, coping mechanism, instead of something new, not knowing what it will bring you. So, even if you know it's better for you to go right, if your nerve system is not in alignment with that knowing, so you don't feel it, you will probably going again to the left. So you have to embody the new belief. You have to reprogram your mind and transform your nerve system. And you do that by just little baby steps, changing every time different. Like every time you want to go to the right but you know it's not okay, go tiny step to the left. Till your nerve system feels safe by going again to the left and left, and it becomes a new embodiment. We can't transform only with the mind. The mindset is very, 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 very strong in both ways. Positive, helping, but also limiting. And fear and avoiding pain is our main thing of our ur-brain. So we have to mental and physical transform limiting beliefs, limiting strategies. And that's by baby steps, practicing baby steps. Do it over and over again till it feels familiar and safe. Because our mind and nerve system want to keep us safe. Fear of dying. Almost under every limiting belief and strategy is the fear of dying, not living. But the paradox is, because of that fear, you're not really living. So, do you get that paradox? Do you get it? So, Start with being conscious about your behavior, your feelings that's causing the behavior, and then the thoughts that causing the feelings, emotions and feelings. And then choose differently if it's not serving you. Because from childhood on, when we get born, we have strategies to survive. And a lot of them are very helpful in the beginning, like for a baby crying when it wants attention and when it's hungry, smiling to get loved. And we still do that. But when we get little events in our little lives that feels as very big events, because we are still that little creature with a tiny heart and not really rational thinking yet. So it can look like little events can feel for a little creature very big, so very threatened, scared to get reacted, abandoned, going to die. So it makes a lot of strategies to be taken care of. So because of that feeling of separation, and we all have that inner feeling of separation, that or fear of abandonment, reaction, and that's the deep fear of going to die, not living. But yeah, what if I told you we are going to die somehow, somewhere? So why not start living? Because by all those strategies, and worrying is also a strategy, we're not really living, we're already dying. So, and for me, there was a strategy of really working hard because of a lack mindset, money, and money was for me also then a thing I need to stay alive. We all programmed like that, and society is still programming us like that. So for me it was working, earning money, it keeps me alive. So with an own business, your business of your own, not going to work, no, then I lose money, and maybe I need that money later. So it's really a shortness mindset. And it's strange because in every other part of life I have really an abundant mindset. But it's a really deep blueprint in my system. Maybe already because my parents has that, or my grandparents, and just the whole society has it. So that's a really tough one to transform. And it starts with baby steps. And for me, taking a day off, a lot of things happening again in my mind. But I now know that it's my mind who wants to keep me safe. And I can say to myself, I'm good, I'm safe, no worry. And also, there was a strategy of being very responsible for my clients, feeling very responsible, being a pleaser, want to be a good girl, wants to be there for everyone. So I cannot take just free for myself, I have to coach people. So another strategy, another limiting belief I had to transform just for taking a day off or a half day. And I still sometimes struggle with it. And I still have thoughts in my mind when I'm now driving to my home from, maybe I better stay working. I was already at work, so what does it matter? But on the other hand, my whole system was screaming for a day off. And I just take one day, but a half day, but baby steps, baby steps. And now, when you do it and your nervous system, your mind is convinced that it's safe, your limiting belief can shift, can transform. And yeah, and that brings me also to the next thing I want to share with you. I already shared a little bit on my socials. The quote, "The past has no power in the now, only when you give it power." Because all those strategies, limiting beliefs, is the past. We built them in the past. For something happened in the past. So when we do those strategies, or we holding on to limiting beliefs, and we act on that, we act on the past. So the past has power. So you don't really live in the now. You're still living in the past. But you are not the past. You are not that person anymore. So every event that caused a strategy, a trauma that caused a strategy, or a limiting belief, but that's also a strategy. So let's now keep it simple, a strategy, a coping mechanism, is projecting the past on the now, or maybe even on the future. And even if we are worrying over the future, it's a projection of the past on the now and the future. So, again, really not living. But we do it because out of fear of not living and dying. So that's a strange paradox. A strange thing to do, if you look at it like this. Then you think, so, if you really can feel, and that's also really practicing in seeing it, feeling it, knowing it, feeling it, knowing it, because if you know it, you not really know it. If you feel it and know it, then you really know it. That you are not that person in the past that had that event, and maybe therefore trauma and therefore strategy. You are a total different person. You have had that event. You had an experience. You learned from that maybe. You grown out of that. You transformed out of that. You evolved. And literally you are a different person because all your cells are already changed totally every 7 years. So I think you are a totally different person than 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So literally, but also mental and physical. So, and maybe you get triggered when I say your past is not real. It's not true anymore. It's now still a memory and sometimes even an illusion. Because it's a memory. Your brain, your mind does something with memories. Like, we can prove that because I can have the same event as my sister. And total different memory about it. A total different feeling with it. And a total different strategy and belief around it. Maybe even no. And she has a lot of strategies about that event. And I'm thinking, just happened. You know? So, it's perception. And when we are so young, when the most events have a lot of impact, we have a different perception than now. Maybe when we are now in that moment with this body, this now knowing, this being, we will think about that event. Really? It just doesn't matter. Like, so can we say to the past, so what? Not to deny it, but okay, it happened. So what? And what has it brought me? And what is my mind prefer to have? Like, maybe in the past your father wasn't there for you. Then you can say to yourself, so what? But your little child in you, not you now, but your little child, would love to have a father available for him and have the love of the father. But this is not what happened. Radical acceptance. This is not what happened. En zo is het niet gegaan. Can I just accept that? And I'm now grown up. I can hold myself. I am here. I grown from that. I evolved. That strategy brought me here, but it's not now serving me anymore. It causes more stress. Do I need it? At that moment, yes, I needed it because I was young, a little child. I didn't know better. And now, so, can you leave the past in the past? Can you see your memory as a memory, an illusion? And don't project it every time here. Keep your eyes and your face to the light instead of to the past. The past, maybe even can you be grateful for the past? Because your strategies, if they are not using you, but you are using your strategies, can be some of your greatest gifts. If you control them and they don't control you. So maybe not only radical acceptance of the past and acceptance that it isn't the way you had loved that it was to be. Is that a sentence? And just say, so what? I am here and now, and I am safe, and yes, I am here, I am safe, and I am welcome, and that strategy, I can use it instead of being used by the strategy. Like for example, your strategy is, for example, in missing a father, in working very hard. You can work very hard because that gives you validation you seek from your father. Or that feels for you to be a real man because you missed that example of your father. Then, whoa, I've got a lot of work power. But it is now a little bit in the overdrive. So, can I lose it up a little bit? Can I use that work power in my advantage, as a gift, as my goals? And can I use that experience as a stepping stone? You outgrown that strategy. And then it becomes lighter. And then you can choose different. And of course, when it's a really tough strategy, deep blueprint, limiting belief, limiting strategy, it may be not even disappear totally or transform totally. You will sometimes find yourself back in that strategy. But then you can say, hey, hello, what am I doing? Is this helping? What do I believe about myself is true to feel the way I'm feeling it, or do the way I'm doing it? Or what am I afraid of will happen to me if I choose differently, or acting on my authentic self, highest excitement, choosing for myself? All those questions you can ask, and then, hey, okay, there's the strategy again, and there's the limiting belief again. But it's not serving me. It's even not true. Because I'm alive and I'm here. And I'm not anymore in that situation. The past is the past. You literally are a different person. You're a different person every moment you choose something or do something. You are every moment a different person. So your past is not your past anymore. It's literally not your past anymore. It's a memory. A memory, you can keep them, but you don't have to do them. So, the past has no power in the now, only when you give it power. So take a deep breath. Say to yourself, I am here. I am totally here. Here, here, here. And I am safe. And I am welcome. So it is. So it will be. And enjoy the now.